we are as a people inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, would interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. Today is April 16th, 2026. I just got off work. I picked up another shift tonight, so I will be working 6 days this week. Yay! I'm trying to, dude, I told you guys, man, I'm trying to stack some chips, so I'm happy, that I can get hours and all that jazz. As far as the update, I'm not really going to do one today. I mean, nothing really happened, just went to work, Nothing too crazy, nothing too exciting. I do have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you donate to the channel, I will send you a bumper sticker. These things are durable as fuck. I have one on my car. My wife has one on her coffee mug. Her mug's been washed 1 billion times. My car has been through snow, ice, rain. These things hold up, man. And you also get a bookmark. I will sign them. Unless you tell me specifically not to sign it, which you can type that in the messages through Buy Me a Coffee. But yeah, it helps pay for pens, papers, flash drive, a Zoom account, which I'm gonna probably cancel that after the end of the month, just because I don't get enough interviews like I want, because I have a full-time job and just. I'm not like a super popular channel, so I just don't feel like paying a monthly bill of that. So, let me pull this up real quick. I wanted to... The fuck? No comments found. There is no filter. There it is. I got it pulled up now. Every now and then I like to do a responding to comments video. I don't think it's going to take up the entire episode. But this comes from Donnie Darko. The Donnie Darko? What? By the way, I didn't even realize what your name was until I typed it on here, or until I pulled it up. I love Donnie Darko. That's like one of my favorite fucking movies. Like, okay, when I first started smoking weed, I used to get high as hell, and I would watch, me and my brother, we would watch, like, what we would call, like, I don't know, like, stoner movies, like, movies you have to be high while watching. I mean, you could watch them sober, but it's just not the same. Donnie Darko was one of them. The Doors, I love watching that movie, especially high. Natural Born Killers was one. Like, you have to be high while watching Natural Born Killers, man. It's just, there's no way around it. But even if you're not high, by the time the movie's over, you feel like you're fucking high. Like, the whole thing is literally like an acid trip. Natural Born Killers, man. That movie's fucking awesome. The Alice in Wonderland cartoon is one of those movies I would say like you have to watch while you're high. I didn't care much for the Johnny Depp one, but I did like the cartoon, and it's next level when you're high. Yeah, there's just, I don't know. Donnie Darko though was one of those movies like you gotta watch it while you're high. Anyways, so Donnie Darko left a message on my last episode I did about. The episode was titled J.D. Vance Thinks Aliens Are Demons. Talking about this whole disclosure thing that's going on. By the way, if you want, go ahead and check out the playlist if you're on YouTube. Alien Disclosure is what I titled it, I believe. And we've been discussing it a lot, my opinions on it. I think that, personally, I think it's kind of like a psyop. I do think there's extraterrestrial shit. I do think, like, look, I'm a ufologist, I'm an ancient astronaut theorist, so I think there's something to it, but I think it's being used right now as a distraction from the Epstein files. So I'm going to read this comment and kind of respond. I did respond through the section, but every now and then I like to do a reading comments video. Also, there's a poll that came through. I wanted to talk about the poll. So this person said, I also love Bill Hicks. He's my favorite comedian. Me too. Bill Hicks he's definitely my favorite comedian also. So Bill Hicks is my favorite. Second favorite, I would say, would probably be Doug Stanhope. If you like Bill Hicks, you would like Doug Stanhope. Especially older Doug Stanhope. Because Doug Stanhope was, like, real big into conspiracies, too, back in the day. The older he's gotten, though, he's kind of blue-pilled, as weird as that sounds. Not so much blue-pilled, but, like, he still knows about conspiracies. He's just, like, I've spent my whole life, like, screaming about this shit. And he's kind of, I guess, like, black-pilled. He's almost become black-pilled. But, yeah, Bill Hicks, Doug Stanhope, I don't know, George Carlin. George Carlin would be my third favorite one. A lot of his stuff was kind of conspiratorial. Yeah, those are my top three favorite. Bill is my favorite, but it'd be Bill Hicks, Doug Stanhope, George Carlin, Sam Kinison. Bill Hicks actually was taken under Sam Kinison's wing. He was almost, in a way, kind of raised slightly by Sam Kinison. Because he left home, like, straight out of high school or something, and Sam basically picked him up, and he lived with Sam, and, yeah. Check out Sam Kinison if you've never checked him out before. Because he kind of looks and acts a little bit like Bill Hicks. It's weird. You can see where Bill Hicks kind of got his style, you know, of like the screaming at the audience, you know. Let's see. I do want to point something out I haven't heard you mention. The alien topic and Epstein topic aren't mutually exclusive. I do understand that. I'm trying to cover as much as I can. Like I said, I've showed you guys my notes. Dude, it's insane. And this is coming from my notebook, which is just fucking full of notes. It's hard working a full-time job. I wish that this was my full-time job. I truly do. I wish that I was able to podcast every day, all day. Maybe one day, you know. It's an uphill battle. I'm shadow banned out the wazoo. I've been doing it for a decade, so like I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy, but if it ain't happened after a decade, I don't think I'm ever gonna like blow up or something, you know. I just do it for fun. If I make a little bit of change that helps me pay some bills, or you know, I put more money into this podcast than I'll ever get out. That's why it cracks me up when you hear people like, oh, this person's a grifter. I'm like, I don't think people realize how much money you put into podcasting, like buying microphones, flash drives, computers, even just the office supplies, like these bookmarks, stickers, like that shit ain't cheap, you know, like, business cards, you know, because I do boots on the ground. Anytime someone's like talking about, if I can, you know, I give them a business card, like, check out my podcast, you know. But the time, like, I work a full-time job, and like this week I'm working 6 days a week, and then on days off I gotta mow the lawn. I wish that I could cover more episodes, because there's so much to talk about. Like, and every day I feel like there's something new every day, you know. Like, by the time I get to a story, sometimes it's already like 1 or 2 days old, and it kind of sucks, because it's like, I'm sure people are like, it doesn't get much views, but it's like, it's something I really want to talk about. But I do know that in the Epstein files, there's a lot of weird shit. So like, there's some shit about paranormal. There's some paranormal shit in there. Like, Epstein was into all sorts of weird shit. I do think that there is probably a connection. I know that there's a lot of paranormal shit. Like, he was talking to scientists. Epstein was into everything. I feel like this dude was literally a jack of all trades. But the alien topic and aren't mutually exclusive. There is a little bit of melding in there. If you would like to respond, yeah, definitely hit me up and tell me what you know, how they're connected more, because you might tell me something that I don't know. In fact, they are intimately related. Who taught humans how to extract adrenochrome from children? So this part right here, I commented back. Okay. You are so hitting the nail on the head right there. And I didn't want to go into it super, because it would be too much to like text on a phone. So there's a theory, because like I said at the beginning of this, I'm an ancient astronaut theorist, and I've read like tons of Eric von Däniken books. Like, I have a stack of Eric von Däniken books, and I've literally read like all of them, but maybe like 1 or 2. I literally read, like, anytime I get a von Däniken book, I just burn through it. Like, von Däniken is probably my favorite ancient astronaut theorist author. But he put forth this idea that human sacrifice, like, let's take the Aztecs. The Aztecs were known for, like, human sacrifice on pyramids, you know, sacrificing humans. And he's like, yes, this is barbaric. But what if the gods, the aliens, whatever you want to call them, fallen angels, whatever, I'm not going to sit here and argue the semantics with people. Because I think we're all talking about the same thing. We're just using different names. Von Däniken said, what if primitive man, the Aztecs, had seen the aliens, the gods, performing surgeries on people? Or learning human anatomy, like cutting people open and examining shit. And what they were doing was mimicking it. Kind of like children. You know, yeah, mimicking it. They didn't understand what they were doing, so they're like, well, the gods are doing it, we need to do it. Like, let's cut people open. I know it sounds crazy, but it makes sense. So, like, there's this whole concept, and Von Däniken talks about it, too, is cargo cults. There's an actual tribe, I can't remember where it's at, but he documents it in one of his books. I can't remember the book because I've read so many of Von Däniken's work, but so this tribe out in the middle of fucking bumfuck Egypt, not literally, but you know what I'm saying, bumfuck Egypt, metaphorically. They, during, I think it was World War II, it was this completely isolated tribe. The Royal Air Force, the RAF, had to like end up stopping there on this little island and there was this tribe that was cut off from everything. They had never even seen an airplane. So, like, to them, the tribe literally thought that the Royal Air Force was gods. You got these pale people. They've never seen a white person before. They come in on a metal flying bird. They land. And the Royal Air Force was like, yeah, dude, like, to keep the peace, you know, and because they kind of set it up as a little base during the war, they would give them, like, cigarettes. These people had never had cigarettes. They'd give them alcohol so that, like, they're getting drunk for the first time. Like, you would think that's a god. Like, if you had never experienced alcohol and, like, some weird white creature comes up to you, it looks kind of like you, but it's pure white. You'd never seen a white person. Here, drink this magic potion. You know, he's speaking a different language, so to you it sounds like, you know, you're going to be like, this tastes horrible, but then, like, 15 minutes later, you're like, whoa, dude, I like this guy, like, he makes me feel funny, you know? He makes me laugh and giggle, and I feel good, like, and, like, they would give them, like, their rations, like, they would feed them, like, basically white people food, you know? And, after the war was over, these people, the Royal Air Force, like, left. And to this day, it's actually kind of sad. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, I'm a softie, so I kind of cried, like, watching, like, this documentary about it. I read it in the book, but I also watched, like, old school Von Däniken documentaries. But after they left, the tribe literally built, like, an idol that looked exactly like a biplane with the propellers and the wings, and it gets even sadder. So they thought that they were gods, right? They built a runway of torches, and, like, every night they would light the torches, and they had, like, sticks, and they would have, like, their priest, like, doing, like, the hand signals, like someone trying to guide in a plane for a runway. That's the saddest part to me, was the priest doing, like, the whole, because they want the gods to come back. I'm like, oh, that's so fucking sad. Like, and watching this documentary and reading about this, I'm like, why didn't, like, the King of England or something be like, bro, you guys at least got to visit them, like, once a year or something. Like, once a year would be nice. Like, bring him some fucking, you know, England can afford that shit. Bring him some fucking booze. Bring him some fucking rations. Bring him, like, some good food, not some fucking military MREs or something. Like, I don't know. I just, after watching that, I'm like, they could have done that. Like, hey, we need to visit our buddies, like, at least once a year. I don't know. But yes, the whole concept of, like, where do I think they learned how to extract adrenochrome? Of course, the fallen angels, the aliens, the gods, you know. But I wanted to bring up cargo cults and human sacrifice, because I truly think that when you look at it from the lens and perspective of ancient astronaut theory, of, like, these people, the Aztecians and stuff, could have witnessed surgery being done and stuff, that possibly they misunderstood it and was mimicking it. Another thing too, I kind of went on a rant during that podcast, and I don't regret anything I said, but it aggravates me, the whole concept of demons, that all aliens are demons. I think that's, like, kind of racist in a way, because that's like saying all humans are evil. It's like, no, some of us are good. Like, I think I'm a decent human being. Like, I'm a good guy, you know. I try to be. I strive to be. But I don't like when, like, these, like, Christians just are like, all aliens are demons. And another reason I don't believe that is because I'm a ufologist. I've studied ufology for years. I can't tell you how many books I've read on ufology. Not every alien abduction is a bad encounter. I've heard stories of aliens abducting people and doing dental work on them, or taking out their appendix because they were having appendix pains. Turns out their appendix was gonna burst. Like, saving people's lives. I've heard of good alien abduction encounters. But do you know something about the news? And they tell you this in journalism, because I used to be a journalist. I wrote for 3 different papers for about like a couple years, you know, about 2 or 3 years. I wrote for 2 or 3 different papers. I was a freelance journalist. I would just sell my work. And sometimes just write for free if I was in the mood. They even tell you, good news does not sell. And there's actually a true story. I'm going to have to look it up one day, because my dad told me the story like back in the 90s. He said there actually used to be a good news newspaper. And all it was nothing but good news. And the company went under, because whether you like it or not, and I actually do agree with it, like, good news does not sell. People like crazy shit. People like hearing horrible shit. Why do you think true crime podcasts are the biggest podcast out there? And women love true crime. Women are the worst for this. Women love true crime, dude. They are the biggest consumers of true crime. But it's like a car wreck. Everyone looks. And I'm sorry, you could sit here and say, I don't look, I'm better than that. And blah, blah, blah. No, you're not. Everyone fucking looks at a bad car wreck when you're driving by. Like, it is what it is. People love the macabre. They love... And I get it. Like, imagine... And it's honestly, too, like I said, I was a writer, you know. I won an award for creative writing at one point. I've showed you guys on the channel. Yes, I know I'm tooting my own horn, but like they teach you in writing that like there has to be conflict. There has to be a villain, conflict, something, you know. And it's true. Like, imagine reading just like a whole book and there's no villain, there's no conflict, there's no climax. It's just all nothing but good. Like, that would be a horrible book. It probably wouldn't even get published unless it was like self-published by the author. Like, no one wants to read something where there's no friction involved. This is why I've never liked the concept of like heaven, you know, of like everything is perfect, everything's jolly-go-lucky. It would be boring. It would be horrible. But yeah, so like no one mentions in the ufology community, well, not no one, but very few people mention the good encounters with alien abduction. Because it doesn't sell. No one wants to hear about good alien abduction stories. The dude Fire in the Sky, everyone watches the movie and they never actually listen to the man speak. He said that later on he realized that it was actually a good encounter. The aliens, like, saved him. Like, they saved his life. And he's talked about it before. But everyone watches the movie, and the movie was like a horror movie. They made, like, the abduction thing, like, horrible and traumatizing, and it's like... And I've argued with people in comment sections. I'm like, have you actually read the book or watched any of his lectures? Like... He even admits that, like, Hollywood butchered his story. It wasn't a negative experience. Like, you guys are making it out to be that way. Because you watched a movie, now you think you know everything about the story. Like, that's like watching Mothman Prophecies and saying you know the Mothman Prophecy story. Like, first of all, that movie is entirely different from the book. Like, it's nothing like the book. You know? That shit aggravates me, though. People watch, like, a movie based on a true story, and they think they're, like, an expert. It's like, no. So that's why I don't think that aliens are demons. Let's see. But yes, let's see. They did. Crowley drew a picture of one of them and explained a young boy of high intelligence is preferred as far as, like, adrenochrome. Well, no, we were talking about adrenochrome. I know what you're saying there, though, because I've actually... The Aleister Crowley collection. I know exactly what you're talking about. Crowley even explains that, like, he gets into dark shit as far as, like, that the most powerful magic you can do is sacrificing a child. Like, he talks about it in his writings, you know. Oh, the picture, the alien picture, the gray alien, it's Lamb. Lam. I have talked about Lamb. I have not talked about Lamb like in soup. I've talked about Lamb in passing. I do see the connection of the demonic, and I look at them as interdimensional beings, though. And I explain, like, demons are aliens because they are alien to us. They are aliens. Angels are aliens. Gods are aliens. They're all aliens. Alien just means they are alien to the human race, alien to what we are used to. But yes, I will do a deep dive on Lamb. One of these days, like I said, like whenever I get fucking time to do it, I'm gonna do a deep dive on Lamb. I've been wanting to anyways. Like, don't get me wrong, like, your comment was like, okay, like, I know I need to do that. Not that you were, like, bugging me or anything, but it was already in my head. Like, I've been wanting to do an episode on Lamb for, like, honestly, years. But I usually end up talking about current conspiracy events, you know. Because that's what people mostly want to hear. And like I said, I have that journalistic mindset of, like, if it's a hot topic on the press, I need to talk about it now. But yeah, I will do a deep dive on Lamb and the whole story of Lamb, of him drawing the picture and contacting this entity called Lamb. And Crowley also said, I've said this before, that we call them angels and demons now, but in the future they will call them by another name. I think he is talking about aliens, you know. I think we're all talking about the same shit. We're just using different terms. And this goes back to Tower of Babel, of people arguing semantics. But people, it's like they got that ego thing going on. Like, I can't be wrong. They're demons. Well, they are demons, but what is a demon? Where does that etymology come from? That comes from the word daemon. So now we need to do a deep dive on what the fuck is a daemon, you know? But yes, Crowley has said that the most powerful magic you can do is to sacrifice a child. We're going to do a deep dive on his works. These aren't all of them, but this has a lot of shit. I think it has the Book of Lies. It has Moonchild in here. I want to do a whole series on... No, it's not. It doesn't have Book of Lies. It has the Book of the Law, which gets into the Law of Thelema, the New Aeon, which gets into the Aeon of Horus. Yeah, this shit is like probably like 100 episodes in one volume, one book. Like, I could probably do like 100 episodes on just what's in here. I'm not even joking. I just read it from here and every now and then, you know. But yeah, let's see, what else did you say? Let's see. Crowley drew a picture of the... Okay, who did Epstein provide adrenochrome to? Yep, to them again. It's all one big circle jerk, which is why the guilty parties cannot allow either topic to surface, because where one goes, so does the other. Legos, they all stick together. And if they all start not sticking together, they all fall apart. Legos, you know. That was the whole symbolism during, like, the whole QAnon shit. of when they were all freaked out during COVID and making like those weird videos, like Ellen was doing it, Tom Hanks, David Spade, like they were all putting out weird, creepy ass videos with coded language. And if you notice, Ellen was doing the whole Lego thing. She was obsessed with, look at all the Legos I bought. And she would make videos putting Legos together when she was wearing the whole like ankle bracelet shit. Like, that was a whole weird phase. I'm not a Q-tard anymore, but you gotta admit, there's some weird shit. But what she was saying was, Legos, we all stick together. It's a big club, and we are not in it. And thank God we're not. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little responding to a comment and go a little deep on what I know about Lamb. We're gonna do a whole episode dedicated to Lamb one of these days. I hope I hope I didn't put you on blast, but I do responding to comments videos every now and then. I really gotta fucking pee. I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you, Donnie Darko, for your input. I gave you a heart and a thumbs up, and I replied. I hope you didn't mind me talking about you and stuff, but it wasn't anything hateful. It was just, I wanted to clarify some things. Alright, I gotta pee. Love y'all.